Okay, so this time our topic is about ethical consideration and integrity standards. No, ethical consideration and integrity standards are foundation to effective government human resource management. As public institutions are entrusted, with authority, resources, and the responsibility to serve the public interest. In the public sector, HR decisions such as recruitment, promotion, performance, evaluation, discipline, and compensation must consistently reflect fairness, transparency, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. Ethical human resource management ensures that government organizations uphold meritocracy, prevent abuse of power, and maintain public trust, especially in environments where decisions directly affect citizens' welfare and confidence in governance. In the context of advanced human resource management, this topic emphasizes the role of HR professionals and public managers as ethical stewards of the organization because integrity standards guide behavior beyond legal compliance by shaping values, professional conduct, and organizational culture. Understanding ethical frameworks, codes of conducts, and integrity mechanism enables future public administrators to address ethical dilemmas, manage conflict of interest, and promote a culture of professionalism and service excellence with government institutions. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Marinig po.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. Okay. Today I will be discussing the topic on ethical considerations and integrity standards in government human resource management. This topic is crucial, especially in this time of controversy and crisis in the Philippine governance. Government HRM has a profound impact on public trust, governance, and the quality of public service. In this presentation, I will discuss the ethical foundations of government HRM, including recruitment, performance, management, employee relations, and integrity systems. Human resource management plays a pivotal role in shaping the success and culture of an organization. It focuses on the strategic management of people to enhance workforce productivity, engagement, and alignment with the agency's goals, build a culture of ethics and integrity. HR practitioners are not only responsible for recruitment, training, and employee well-being, but also for fostering a positive work environment that promotes innovation, diversity, and growth. I would like to emphasize that HR practitioners are not only the HRM officers of organizations, but also include supervisors, head of the organization, and everyone responsible for the management and supervision of the employee life cycle. In government agencies, HRM is not just an administrative function. It is a cornerstone of public accountability. Unlike private organizations, the focus in government is not profit, but fairness, transparency, and serving the public interest. Ethical lapses in HR can lead to corruption, mistrust, and inefficiency. Hence, HR practitioners in government must uphold strong ethical standards. The foundations of ethical government HRM. Ethical government HRM is built on several core foundations. First is public accountability, which requires decisions to be transparent and defensible. Second is equity, meaning all employees and applicants must be treated fairly and without discrimination. Third is government HRM is bound by strict legal frameworks such as civil service rules and administrative laws, specifically the 1987 Constitution, the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees, or the RA 6713, the CSC Memorandum Circular Number 8, Series of 2025, or the Omnibus Rules on Appointments and Other Human Resource Actions, or ORA-ORA. HR professionals serve as custodians of these principles, ensuring that personal decisions are consistent, objective, and ethical. Ethical government is enshrined in Article 11, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, where it states that public office is a public trust. Public officers must be accountable, serve with integrity, loyalty, efficiency, patriotism, justice, and lead modest lives. RA 6713, or an act establishing the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees, on the other hand, establishes the ethical rules for government workers, promoting public trust, accountability, and integrity by defining acceptable behavior, prohibiting conflict of interest, mandating financial disclosures, and setting penalties for violations, ensuring public servants prioritize public interests. This states that it is the policy of the state to promote a high standard of ethics in public service. Public officials and employees shall at all times be accountable to the people and shall discharge their duties with utmost responsibility, integrity, competence, and loyalty, act with patriotism and justice, lead modest lives, and uphold public interest over personal interest. In a nutshell, the norms of conduct of public officials and employees is provided by law, where public officials and employees are mandated to observe as standards of personal conduct in the discharge and execution of official duties. These are the following. First is the commitment to public interest. Public officials and employees shall always uphold the public interest over and above the personal interest. All government resources and powers of their respective offices must be employed and used efficiently, effectively, honestly, and economically, particularly to avoid wastage in public funds. An example nito is the use of office supplies. Very simple example, like the book paper. All our supplies in the office are intended only for official use. So I always share with my colleagues, especially those with students na mga anak, na we are given the opportunity and the privilege sa mga trabaho natin. If medyo magipit naman ang budget, meron namang nabibili na pack ng coupon band or bond paper sa mga stores. So it is a must that yung mga personal needs natin sa bahay, iso-shoulder natin sa ating mga sariling sahod. So next is professionalism. Public officials and employees shall perform and discharge their duties with the highest degree of excellence, professionalism, intelligence, and skill. They shall enter public service with utmost devotion and dedication to duty. They shall endeavor to discourage wrong perceptions of their roles as dispensers or peddlers of undue patronage. An example for this is yung appointing unqualified relatives or awarding contracts to favored businesses. Next is justness and sincerity. Public officials and employees shall remain true to the people at all times. They must act with justness and sincerity and shall not discriminate against anyone, especially the poor or underprivileged. They shall at all times respect the rights of others and shall refrain from doing acts contrary to the law, good morals, good customs, public policy, public order, public safety, and public interest. They shall not dispense or extend undue favors on account of their office to their relatives, whether by consanguinity or affinity, except with respect to appointments of such relatives to positions considered strictly confidential or as members of their personal staff whose terms are coterminous with theirs. Example for this norm is impartial processing of applications like permits, licenses, or certifications that our offices render to the public. Processes must be in accordance with the Citizens Charter that we have, and favor must not be given to relatives, influential people, or officials. So we must follow kung ano yung stated dun sa Citizens Charter natin. Discrimination also against the poor, elderly, and those with disability should not be allowed or practiced. Next is political neutrality. Public officials and employees shall provide service to everyone without unfair discrimination, regardless of party affiliation or preference. With all due respect, example po nito sa naririnig din natin is sometimes there are feedbacks that if a person or a group of persons are identified with another political party, medyo nahihirapan po sila na magbigyan ng equal opportunity for the public service, halimbawa sa local government. Next is responsiveness to the public. Public officials and employees shall extend prompt, courteous, and adequate service to the public, unless otherwise provided by law or when required by public interest Public officials and employees shall provide information on their policies and procedures in clear and understandable language, ensure openness of information, public consultations and hearings whenever appropriate, encourage suggestions, simplify and systematize policy, rules, procedures, avoid red tape, and develop understanding and appreciation of the socioeconomic conditions prevailing in the country, especially the depressed rural and urban areas. Example for this is the elimination of red tape, re-engineering and of government processes, and digitalization process, all encapsulated in our ARTA policy or the Citizens Charter that we implement. Next is nationalism and patriotism. Public officials and employees shall at all times be loyal to the Republic and to the Filipino people, promote the use of locally produced goods, resources, and technology, and encourage appreciation and pride of the country and people. They shall endeavor and maintain and defend the Philippine sovereignty against foreign intrusions. Very basic example for this is the observance of our National Heraldic Code of the Philippines. So every Monday or the first working day of the week, we observe yung flag ceremony and also flag retreat for every Friday and every last working day of the week. And also patronizing Filipino-made products sa ating personal use and also for tokens that we provide to our resource persons, etc. Next is commitment to democracy. Public officials and employees shall commit themselves to the democratic way of life and values, maintain principle of public accountability, and manifest by deeds the supremacy of civilian authority over the military. They shall at all time uphold Constitution and put to loyalty to country above loyalty to persons or party. Example for this is exercising our freedom of suffrage. So kailangan po natin itong i-practice yung nagbo-vote tayo every time na may elections po. Lastly is the simple living. Public officials and employees and their families shall lead modest lives appropriate to their positions and income. They shall not indulge in extravagant or ostentatious display of wealth in any form. Ito po yung medyo controversial sa atin ngayon. We as public officials, lalo na pag nasa public na mga events, hindi po appropriate na nagsusuot or gumagamit tayo ng mga designer clothes, brands sa ating mga official gatherings po. Next, the 2025 Omnibus Rules on Appointments and Other Human Resource Actions likewise sets comprehensive rules on appointment, promotion, reassignment, and all other personal movements within the Philippine Civil Service. Next is the CSC Memorandum Circular Number 24, Series of 2016, or the Program to Institutionalize Meritocracy and Excellence in Human Resource Management. On the other hand, is a policy mechanism that empowers government agencies by developing their human resource management competencies, systems, and practices toward HR excellence. The prime HRM entails greater engagement not just of the HRMO but also of the officials and the rank and file employees of the agency. Lastly, the Republic Act 11032, or the Act promoting ease of doing business and efficient delivery of government services. Its purpose is to promote integrity, accountability, proper management of public affairs and public property, as well as to establish effective practices aimed at efficient turnaround of the delivery of government services and the prevention of graft and corruption in the government. For the ethical recruitment and selection, recruitment is one of the most high-risk HR areas for ethical issues. Choosing the appropriate personnel for a specific position is critical in shaping culture and integrity, accountability in public service. Ethical recruitment means hiring based on merit, fitness, competence, and job-related qualifications. The Civil Service Commission guidelines emphasize transparency, fair assessment, and proper documentation in recruitment and selection. It ensures that there is an equal opportunity and non-discrimination in the selection of employees on account of age, sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity, civil status, disability, religion, ethnicity, or political affiliation, provided they meet the minimum requirements of the position in accordance with merit and fitness principle. Any form of nepotism, political interference, or favoritism is prohibited. Ethical recruitment safeguards public trust and ensures that government hires competent individuals capable of delivering effective public service. Newly hired and promoted employees must also undergo onboarding program to integrate them into the organization by providing essential knowledge and agency culture policies, visions, and roles. This structured orientation and integration aims to reduce anxiety, boost performance, and ensure smooth transition and commitment to public service excellence. For performance management ethics, performance management must be fair, objective, and evidence-based. In government, performance evaluations have legal and political implications. This means HR staff and performance management team must protect the process from bias or undue influence. Ethical performance management promotes employee morale and trust. Honesty, accuracy, and clear communication of expectations are critical. When employees feel fairly evaluated, they perform better and remain committed to their work. Performance management in the Philippine government is enshrined in the Strategic Performance Management System or SPMS under the Prime HRM. SPMS is a structured approach that links employee goals and performance to the organizational goals and performance to enhance the performance orientation of the compensation system. It ensures that employees achieve the objectives set by the organization, and the organization, on the other hand, achieves the objectives that it has set as its strategic plans. So yung sa SPMS naman, to ensure fair rating sa mga employees, meron naman tayong required na standards sa rating. So all employees must be aware of the standards in rating a certain task or output of the agency para maintindihan ng lahat. Next is ethics in employee relations and public service motivation. Strong ethics in employee relations ensure that government workers are treated with respect and fairness. Due process must always be followed, especially in cases of complaints and disciplinary actions. Public service motivation shows that employees who are driven by public interest are more likely to value ethical conduct. Hence, HR must build a culture that encourages transparency, open communication, respect for employee rights, and workplace wellness. In the Philippine Civil Service, among other agencies, have policies set in place for organizations to adopt. Meron tayong grievance committee. This should always be set in place for organizations to adopt. This is a formal body within the organization designed to resolve workplace disputes and complaints impartially, which aims for speedy, harmonious solutions through discussions and investigations. Meron din tayong Committee on Decorum and Investigation or CODI. This must be present and functional. It is created pursuant to provisions of RA 7877 or the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995, the RA 11313 or Safe Spaces Act or Bawal Bastos Law, and the Civil Service Memorandum Circular number 11, Series of 2021, or the Revised Administrative Disciplinary Rules on Sexual Harassment Cases. This is an internal body responsible for handling sexual harassment complaints, ensuring due process, protecting complainants from retaliation, maintaining confidentiality, and promoting gender-sensitive workplaces. This body investigates offenses like unwanted advances, sexist jokes, and cyberbullying. Next is the Healthy Workplace Committee. This must be created to promote and institutionalize a culture of health, well-being, and safety within the organization. Next is on organizational commitment and retention. Ethical treatment increases employee commitment. When employees trust their HR systems, they stay longer and perform better. Ethical HR practices such as fair promotion processes, open communication, and recognition systems enhance employee retention. This is particularly important in government because turnover disrupts public service delivery and wastes resources on repeated hiring and training. The Philippine Civil Service promotes the rewards and recognition system still under the Prime HRM. Government agencies must have a praise committee. This committee is responsible for the development, administration, monitoring, and evaluation of the awards and incentive system of the agency. To ensure transparency and accountability, HR practitioners must effectively communicate the workforce of the agency's merit selection plan and system of ranking position, or SRP. The MSP is a framework for fair, non-discriminatory hiring and promotion in government, focusing on merit, fitness, and equal opportunity principle, assessing the candidate based on qualifications, competence, and performance. Integrity systems institutionalize ethics in government HRM. These include ethics training, codes of conduct, integrity development plans, and monitoring systems. Ethics should not be an optional practice but an integrated part of HR structures. As discussed earlier, the Philippine government also provides framework for ethics and accountability translated into several public policies. For the summary and conclusion, ethical HRM is essential in promoting professionalism, fairness, and trust in government institutions. Ethical recruitment ensures fairness, ethical performance and management, objective evaluations, and ethical employee relations promote respect and motivation. Moreover, strong integrity systems help institutionalize ethical norms, and ultimately, ethical HRM strengthens public trust and supports good governance. That's all for this topic. I will move to my next topic po ba, sir? Okay po.
Okay, so again, thank you so much, presenter, no? Ethical consideration and integrity standards in government human resource management are essential, no, in ensuring that public institutions operate with credibility, no, fairness, and accountability. Ethical human resource management strengthen public trust, no, by promoting merit-based systems, transparent processes, and responsible decision making in recruitment, performance, management, and employee discipline. When integrity is embedded in HR policies and daily practices, our government organizations are better equipped not to prevent corruption, favoritism, and misuse of authority while fostering professionalism and commitment to public service values. Best practices in ethical government human resource management include establishing and strictly enforcing clear code of ethics and conducts, aligned with civil service law, of course, and public sector values. Merit-based recruitment and promotion system should be institutionalized to ensure fairness and equal opportunity, no, supported by transparent criteria and documentation. So regular ethics training and capacity building programs help your employees, no, and managers recognize ethical dilemmas and respond appropriately. Implementing strong accountability and reporting mechanisms such as whistleblower protection and internal audit systems encourages ethical behavior and safeguards employees who report misconduct. So, again, ethical leadership is crucial. Leaders must consistently model integrity, no, impartiality, and service orientation, setting the tone for an organizational culture that values ethical conduct and excellence in public service. Okay, so thank you so much, presenter.